In a world where heads are big and safety regulations are small, samples must be collected. Only one Kerbal has what it takes to collect them all. Chad Kerbin. I am Buckeye Monkey, and this is Sample Quest. Hey everybody, welcome back to the second segment of part 2 of Sample Quest. In part 1 of Sample Quest, we were able to get a sample back, safe and sound, from Minmus, the Moon, and Gilly, without killing any Kerbals. And in the first segment of part 2 here, I built a couple ships and got them into orbit successfully, once again without killing any Kerbals. Death count is still at 0 for the series. And in this segment here, we are going to try to get both of those ships out to Duna and see if we can't get a sample from Ike. So let's jump right in and get to it and see what happened. So we want to get to Duna here, and without using any tools, basically it's pretty easy to just visually imagine a tangent line through Kerbin intersecting with Duna's orbit right here. So right here is where we want Duna to be in order to transfer from Kerbin to Duna. If we were going into Eve, you would basically do the same thing, except when you're going in, instead of starting at the planet that you're on, you start at the planet you want to get to. So if we were trying to get to Eve, we would start with Eve here and try to draw an imaginary tangent through to Kerbin's orbit, and we would want Kerbin right there in order to transfer from Kerbin to Eve. But we're going further out into the solar system, so we want to start with Kerbin and hit Duna right about there. So let's go ahead and switch to our flag here on Minmus, which will let us do the full level of time acceleration. And hope that that my two little guys in orbit don't run into each other. I don't really see any reason why they would. Actually, you know what I just thought of? Let's get a truck stop before I time accelerate here. I want to make sure that I didn't mess up royally. Because truck stop alpha has its SAS still turned on, and I did not deploy its solar panels. So sometimes your SAS can drain your electricity even if you're not really moving, and then we would end up dead in the water with no solar panels deployed. There we go. We're deployed. So now we've got charge. We'll be good. All right, now let's switch back to the flag. And my other ship should be okay because I put those normal solar panels on the outside. So it should be getting some electricity from somewhere. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to set Minmus's target. We already went to Minmus. Come on. There we go. Switching to the flag. Oh, you know what I forgot? I've been talking in silence this whole time. I'm gonna turn on some music. If you guys are listening to your own music and you don't want mine interfering, just let me know. I'll turn it back off. Okay, so we want to get to Duna. And let's quick save. Make sure we don't mess this up. So Duna orbits slower than Kerbin, so I'm going to have to wait for Kerbin to kind of go around and catch up to where it needs to be on Duna. So this is going to be a little bit of a wait here. By the way, do you guys like my lunar lander here? I am broadcasting from the surface of the moon. I have some friends at NASA, and I pulled some strings, and they loaned me some of their Apollo era equipment. And so I slapped it together with some duct tape, and here I am. All right, we're about halfway there. Yeah, I mean the that lag is just Twitch lag, and there's no real way around that because Twitch takes your it takes what you send to Twitch, and it reprocesses it before it sends it out to the people that are watching. So that lag is just it's really kind of unavoidable. But let's see, we're about maybe a little bit more on the time acceleration. I think we're about ready to transfer. So now we're ready to go ahead and get one of these guys on their way to. No, we don't want the penalty box. Let's set the. Let's go with the truck stop first. No, actually, we'll go with the truck stop first. We'll push this out first so we can get it in orbit around Duna first, so we kind of already know where we want our second ship to go. So now that we have selected our truck stop, I'm going to zoom back out here, set Duna as our target. And thanks, babe. I've kind of worked hard on this last week to get it looking good. It's good to know that it actually does. All right, so I think we start about right there. Now, see, in theory, you would want your prograde marker here pointed right at Duna to do this burn. But in reality, we are next to Kerbin, and Kerbin has its say on our trajectory as we're leaving it. So you actually want to place your maneuver node like a little behind here so that you're pointed behind where Duna's going to be, and then Kerbin kind of bends you back towards Duna. So if we go ahead and yank on this a lot. Look at that. That is pretty close. We've already got approach markers there with that burn. What's our inclinations? Okay. It's usually pretty expensive at this point to try and get an encounter if you don't get lucky on one. And it's usually a lot cheaper if you wait until you get to like this descending node and fix your inclination and do a quick burn there and to actually to get your encounter. So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and with this burn the way it is and get this guy headed out to Duna. And this thing is a big old pig. He doesn't like to turn. But we will get there eventually. So this is about 1,100 Delta V for this burn to get us almost all the way to Duna. That'll probably use up most of what we have left in this stage. I don't think it will use all of it though. But we still have tons of fuel left in this top stage, so as long as we don't use all of this burn, then we'll get to Duna with lots of fuel in our truck stop. And also, of course, because I've switched around ships and flags here, we do not have an estimated burn time. So what I'm going to do is once I get to about 1 minute out from our maneuver node, I'm going to do a quick full burn so that we can get our estimated burn time to figure out, when I should really do the burn. Last time I did that, I ended up just leaving it on and just doing the full burn right then and there because it ended up matching up about 1 minute burn. See, look, Chad is happy, Angan is happy, Kelbus a little bit unsure, still happy. Durbin in that other ship, though, is a sourpuss. I forgot I had Kerbal's alarm turned on. Nice. I haven't really used it much. I'm still getting used to it automatically figuring out for me when to stop my time acceleration. Okay, so if I do a full burn now... Oh, whoops. I should have started this a little earlier. I guess my 1 minute buffer wasn't quite enough. But this should be close enough. I think we'll be alright. We're going to end up with maybe about 20 seconds extra burn on the back side of the maneuver node, which with a burn this long isn't that bad. I mean, we were going to do corrections out in deep space anyway, so no big deal. Well, no, I'm not. What I mean by that is I'm just kind of doing calculations in my head here. I'm not like, what I mean by no calculations is I'm not using like the external like delta V calculators or like the aerobraking calculator or the launch window calculator. So like there's tools that aren't even mods that are just web pages that you can plug like numbers into, and they'll tell you, exactly, the angle that you want to set your maneuver node up and everything to the T to get like the most efficient, possible burn. So we did run out of fuel on that stage, but it'll still be okay. The most efficient everything. So I don't really use those. So what I end up doing is over-engineering my ships a little bit to make sure that I do have enough fuel to get where I need to go. But like I said, I played it a lot, and I have used those calculators in the past. So I have a pretty good feel for what you need to do to get to certain places. I've gone to Duno a lot. I've gone to Eve a couple times. And I've gone to Jewel a lot. I've really only like passed by Elu, passed by Moho. Haven't landed on either of those. Haven't even attempted to get a Dre. So that's kind of the point of Sample Quest, is to actually get to everywhere and land on everywhere. So, these places that I've gone lots of times that I'm comfortable with, like Duna and Jewel, I think I'll be okay without using the calculators. But things will probably start getting dicey, when I like try to... I have about 500 hours logged, almost, in the game, Sierra. But things will probably get pretty dicey when I try to get to Moho and in Elu. Because like I said, I've flown by them, but I've never actually landed on them, and let alone land on them and come back. So I'm going to save those until I got my whole... tech tree going. Yeah, I mean, like I started getting outside of Kerbin's sphere of influence pretty early. It just seemed like the natural thing to do. Like I really haven't, for 500 hours in the game, I really haven't landed on Minmus or the moon that many times. And like built, I really kind of focus more on getting places and, with like a probe or something. So I haven't really built like big bases and, big space stations, stuff like that. I've mostly just kind of tried to get different places. Why are these not open? Okay, so now that this guy is out in the sun's sphere of influence, and we've got a long time till that descending node, I'm going to go ahead and switch to our lander and get his burn out on his way to Duna. Oh, I accidentally switched to the penalty box. We don't want the penalty box. We want the Duna lander. You know, I love Jeb. Bill's kind of a jerk. Bob's okay. But they are not part of Sample Quest. Alright, Durbin. I'm not a big fan of you. You're not a happy Kerbal, but you're the only Kerbal we got. So set Duna as our target. And get a maneuver node. That looks pretty good too. Once again, we'll just fix the inclination once we get out to that descending node. And then finish a burn off to actually get our encounter with Duna. You know, one thing that I'm a little worried about is aerobraking on Duna and getting that right. I know like 15,000 meters or so is like a safe aerobraking distance, I think. But like you don't want to go below that. But if you go too high, because Duna's atmosphere is so thin, if you even go just a little bit too high, then you don't. Then you barely get stopped at all. So I think I'm gonna try for like maybe like 16,500. I think that should be safe for the aerobrake maneuver. But we'll see what happens. You know, like with the aerobraking calculators, you can put in like with the aerobraking calculators, you can plug in a bunch of numbers, and once you get into the sphere of influence, and it'll tell you like exactly the height that you need to go at in order to get your apoaps after the aerobraking exactly what you want it to be at. But like I said, not using any of those, so we're just gonna have to kind of wing it and hope we get and hope we do good enough. But I think like I said, I think we're gonna have lots of fuel in that truck stop, so even if our orbits aren't great, I think we're gonna be okay. And this time I am going to do my burn to test out and calculate a little bit earlier so that I don't get things messed up here. Alright, so a 2 minute 15-second burn. So we want to start at about 1 minute 1 minute 7 seconds. There you go, Durbin. A little bit of smile on his face. He's enjoying this a little bit. He's still not a super happy camper. He's definitely not as much of a sourpuss as Bill, though. I almost never put Bill on any missions if I can help it. Just because he's not happy. I don't know why. I mean, I like the Kerbals that like spaceflight. And I don't like the Kerbals that, you know, that are always scared all the time. Oh, you're right. The songs are covering the maneuver node info. Let me see. This might cause my stream to skip a little bit if I adjust that. I'll wait until this burns over and then I'll fiddle with it. Alright, now the songs should no longer be covering our maneuver node info. Alright. Kerbal Alarm Clock seems to be functioning properly. It's very nice. Okay, so now we're at a Kerbin sphere of influence. there is truck stop 1 a little bit ahead of us. Since truck stop 1 is ahead, we're going to switch back to that. And set Duna as our target. Then we want a maneuver node right at this descending node here. And we want to fix that inclination. And try to get ourselves an encounter. Sometimes this does not want to play nice. I hate it when these approach markers don't want to help you out. There we go. Alright, finally. Just getting the encounter in the first place is the tricky part. Oh, really? Come on. That's a pretty close approach there. I'm just going to go ahead and burn with this maneuver node and then fix again later, because we're still like a whole quarter of an orbit away, and it should be cheap to fix beyond this. Cheap fuel-wise, anyway. So let's get ourselves oriented correctly on this maneuver node. And let's do a quick burn here. Well, let's wait a little bit longer. So about 1:38. So as we start this now, in 45 seconds. Really good. This is where the Poodle excels. It's doesn't have a lot of power, but it's pretty efficient. It's good in the interplanetary stages. And you know, I myself put together a series on how to do the nav. You know, I understand the theory really well and how they work, but they're just really tricky to work with sometimes, which is why sometimes it can be frustrating and take a long time to get those encounters down properly. And I mean, I don't understand. I think they've got, you know, maybe a few bugs to work out in how the closest approach and encounters work, because they jump around all the time. Like, you'll be getting closer, 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 and then your closest approach will suddenly jump to some other place on the orbit. And it's highly annoying when that happens. Okay. So now that we've got that burned down, our approach is only 300,000 kilometers away, which is not too bad. So now we want to switch to our Duna lander and set it up a similar burn to get there we go. Our Duna lander was in stealth mode for a second there. That was weird. Okay, so what we're going to do is set up our maneuver node and get a similar burn out to Duna. Duna is our target. Oh, your descending node isn't even until out here. Alright, this is not working out very well. That's a lot of delta V for... I think when I kind of did my guesstimate on my launch windows, I was a little off. We're spending a lot of delta V here to try and shore up these approaches. But we'll be okay in the end. That's why I over-engineer and make sure I get plenty of fuel out in the orbit. There we go. That's a good approach. I'm not even going to mess with that. Wow, 900 delta V. That's a lot of fuel. But I think we'll be okay. So line this up, kind of. We're going past it. Come back. Come back, come back. Come on. You can come back. Why are we not coming back? Come on. You can do it. You can do it! Kerbin, stop dancing in there and control your ship. Alright, oh, well, this stage is gonna go kaput in the middle of this burn. And it just turned into a much longer burn. Looks like this poodle is gonna have plenty of fuel in that stage to get us to Duna, which is nice. Because then we have tons of fuel left in this lander stage up here to get to like Ike and then back towards Duna for a refuel. I was kind of worried about only using the one small tank. I was thinking about using a double instead, but I think this one is going to turn out to be just about perfect. Okay, so we've got a Duna encounter there. Let's switch back to truck stop and get ourselves an encounter with this guy. Then after we get an encounter with this guy, we'll switch back to Duna Lander and attempt to refine our encounter. Sending node NAN. Does that mean it's perfectly zero? Well, why is it not giving me... Okay, we've got an ascending node there. Man, I guess I'm perfectly inclined as already with Duna's orbit. There we go. Now let's see if we can't refine this to actually get ourselves a nice close periapse to Duna. That looks pretty good. 57,000 meters, something we can definitely work with. And that's only 178 delta V that we need. This will be a fairly short burn. Do this around 18 seconds. Let's kill that. Come on. No. There we go. And get some fine tuning in here. Alright, now we're going back up. So, let's see. I've got RCS on this. I'm going to turn my RCS on and try to use that to refine our apoapse. Yeah, my dog loves barking. He barks at everything. There's actually, I posted a YouTube video over a year ago. He, that actually got it went viral and got like 1.5 million hits. He, every Wednesday at noon where I live, they test the public warning system, you know, like the storm warning system, the sirens. And he howls back at those things without fail every single Wednesday at noon. So one day I caught it on my phone and and posted it on YouTube, and it really took off. People loved it. There were people on Reddit that were posting videos of their dog howling back at my dog, and videos of somebody howling at another dog that was howling at another dog that was howling at my dog. It was pretty funny. Alright, so that is a pretty close periapse. That looks pretty good there for this guy. So let's switch back to Dunalander and see if we can't get him a really close periaps too. And once again, Dunalander is in stealth mode when I first switched to it. That's weird. Okay, our periaps on Duna there is pretty big. So we'll try to tweak this with a maneuver node. Oops, no, we want to see the periaps on that, not the periaps on that. There we go. Alright, that's nice and close. And only 18 meters per second. Okay, so, you know, because of the way these orbits worked out, even though Duna Truck Stop 1 took off first, I apparently got a much better angle with Duna Lander 1. So Duna Lander 1 looks like is going to... oh wait, Duna Truck Stop 1 in 30 days, and Duna Lander 1 in 44 days. So let's switch to Truck Stop. Oh, why? My ships love stealth mode for some reason. Alright. We are now in Duna's sphere of influence. So... let's see, this would put us in a retrograde orbit around Duna, which we do not want. We want to go in a prograde orbit around Duna because oh wait, I was facing where? So this will actually put us in a prograde orbit, so I think we're good. But we're coming in a little north, so I think I'm going to burn south a little bit, kind of correct our inclination some. I'm going to go for 16,500 as a periaps here. I think once I get close, I'm going to switch to RCS to fine tune. Okay, RCS. 16,500, almost right on the dot there. Alright, so we've still got 13 days until Duna Lander 1 comes, so we can go ahead and get this aerobraking maneuver going. Oh, before I do, don't want to forget to retract our solar panels here. We don't want those breaking off. Okay, that's all of them retracted. We're in good shape. Our inclination is pretty bad though. Alright, I'm going to try to fix this. So what we need to do is burn almost there. You know, a normal person would have just set up a maneuver node. But no. I've got to do this the hard way. And that's about perfect. On our inclination, but not quite perfect on... So now if we burn a little bit west, that should get us back up to... use our RCS for that. Alright, bam, alright. Now our inclination looks pretty good, and we are at 16,500 meters, which is kind of a guess as to a good aerobraking height. I hope we don't crash and burn here. This is the one thing I'm kind of worried about. I'll hit a quick save just to make myself feel better, even though I'm not going to use it if I picked the wrong height. Okay. So let's warp in here. Crap. Alright. I'm coming in on the wrong side of Duna. I thought Ike is going around this way, which is what we're not going to be doing if I continue along my current path. So I'm going to have to switch. There's an icon counter. We don't really want one. Not with this thing anyway. We want one with the lander. There we go. Oh, I overdid that a little bit. Choose our RCS, get back down to 16.5. This is now the third time I've gotten the periaps back down to 16.5. Inclination is still okay. So now we're good to go. Well, we're good to go if I have correctly estimated a good aerobraking height. If it's too high, I can always spend fuel. I've got plenty extra. If it's too low, then I'm in trouble. Yes, I know. Don't shoot. Go away. Oh. Why is that message not... Okay, this message is not really going right. Why is this message haunting me? That's really strange. I guess we're just gonna have to leave it up there for a bit. The lander's gonna be here in 13 days. Did I just crash? I think I just crashed. Yeah, I crashed. I can't. Come on. Wait. No, I didn't crash. This window is interfering with my my escape button, bringing up the settings buttons. That's weird. Okay, so we're climbing back up, and we still haven't. Okay, I'm gonna have to burn fuel here to finish out this capture. 16,005 was a conservative estimate, and it was too high. We will go a little lower with the lander. And I think once I execute this burn and get into orbit safe and sound around Duna, I'm going to restart the game. Spending our precious fuel in our truck stop just to get in orbit. Not awesome, but it'll work. There we go. That leaves us with a periaps of 10, which is way too low. Another icon counter we don't need. Let's bring this down to under 1 million for sure. Maybe around 400,000. Alright. And circularize that back up. That maneuver node will work. Okay. I think something went wrong with Kerbal Alarm Clock. Oh, no, there we go. Close alarm. I guess we are 2 minutes out from the node. Alright. That worried me for a second there. I thought Kerbal Alarm Clock wasn't going to stop me. So this burn we want to start about 12 seconds. Right there. Let's go back to our ship here and see if we can deploy our solar panels, even though this bastard window does not want to get out of the way. Alright, solar panels deployed. Got lots of monopropellant left. Half of our fuel left, which should be plenty to refuel our lander. I'm going to go to the Space Center. It looks like that window went away. Finally. Maybe I can, maybe I don't have to restart. So, we already got Duna truck stop orbiting Duna. Now we want Duna lander. Yeah, that window's gone now. Alright, cool. Where are we at here? Periaps of 133. That's good enough for now. We'll just go ahead and get into the encounter. That's weird. That window's popping up twice. I definitely think Kerbal Alarm Clock is messing with something, but it's worth the frustration. Whatever it's messing with. Okay. So our periaps for this guy is already on the right side of Duna, but our inclination's pretty bad, and our periaps is too high. So, headed too far north around Duna. So we want to hit this 180 line here and burn south a little bit. Fix that inclination. And then we want to fix that periaps by burning west, which is the 270 line. 16,500 was too high. 15,200 might still be a little high, but once again, safer to go too high, especially since I have extra fuel. Than to go too low and crash and burn. So let's go ahead and zoom on in here to Duna. Alright, thanks man. Take it easy, babe. I'll post the rest of this on YouTube. If you want to watch the rest, I'll edit out the boring parts, travel time and stuff like that, like I did for the first videos. So you'll still be able to watch the rest on YouTube later. And I'll be doing more of these in the future. And I was also thinking of doing a series that was basically strictly just Q&A. Because, I don't know everything about the game, but I've learned quite a bit. And if there's, something you want me to show you how to do, or you want some explanation on how some things work, then I think I'll just stream some Q&A sessions too. So, but thanks for stopping by, man. Take it easy. Okay. Is this time... Now this time, when I turn on physical acceleration, am I going to get that damn window? No, did not pop up this time. I think we're in good shape. Let's get myself oriented at... my retrograde marker here, in case I need to burn some. I probably will. We're still going down. These are looking okay. And we're climbing back up now. And so, yeah, we are going to have to burn some here. retrograde to finish off this capture, but not nearly as much as we had to last time. See, we're already I guess pulling in that apoapse isn't really going to change this ascending node too much in its position in the orbit, so I don't think I'm going to save much fuel by trying to go around a rotation once, with my apoapse still far out there. So I'll just go ahead and burn and bring the apoapse down in to around Ike's orbit. So I think I'm going to go straight for an Ike landing. So I should have plenty of fuel on this stage to get close to Ike. Man, I already got an Ike encounter just like that. That is nice. Finally, something goes my way with these encounters and maneuver nodes. You'll probably have to spend quite a bit of fuel to actually get captured in Ike with this, but it'll probably be a savings in the long run, because I won't have to do a whole bunch of other burns. Nudge that up to about 20. Okay. Good stuff. And we still have fuel left in this stage for that capture burn. So we should have plenty of fuel to be able to land with this bad boy, take back off, rendezvous with our truck stop, and get lots of science going. Get our sample from Ike, get our sample from Duna. Nice. So I guess all I really want to do here is just fast forward to this encounter. Hello, Ike. I'm coming for you. We are going to be good friends. Okay, so our inclination's a little crazy, but, and let's see, our light side's over here, so if I just do a burn here, bring us into an orbit around Ike, and then go for a landing on the light side somewhere near Ike's equator, then I can just take right back off from there and have a good inclination and not have to worry about fixing it now. So that's what I'm going to do. Huh, look at that. We really don't have to burn that much fuel at all. 18 and 28. I guess that's close enough. 18 should be safe. Real safe on Ike. It's pretty safe on the moon. Alright, so let's just get up to this node here. 49-second burn for 185 meters per second. Oh, I guess that makes sense. It's a poodle. Kinda. It seems like a lot. Alright, anyway, we're going to start this around 25 seconds. Might start it early though, because I think I might run out of fuel on this stage. Yep. Ooh, but this stage is more powerful. Alright, so We've got 16 seconds left on this burn. And we've already burned a little bit. Let's wait until like 4 seconds to start again. That looks pretty good. 19:26. Okay, so I come down around here. I'll still be in the light, and that'll put me around Ike's equator. So I think we'll be in good shape. Oh, you know what I need to do here? I guess I can do it. I already set up this maneuver node. We'll delete that. I need to get myself some science. So we want to transmit ourselves a crew report. EVA here. Get ourselves an EVA report. Okay, so we are near Ike. So on our way back out, when we are far from Ike, we want to make sure to do this again. And let's get one mystery goo here. We'll get another one down on the surface. And I think that's it. I think we're pretty good. So now let's go ahead and time accelerate and zoom around onto the light side. And right about a little further. Right here should be good. So now if I switch this to surface mode by clicking on the top of my nav ball here, we are moving 365 meters per second relative to the surface. So if I point myself retrograde and burn until that's about 0, then that'll get us falling about straight down the surface of Ike. Which is not the most fuel efficient way to do it, but it's the easiest. It's the safest. Let's get our landing gear out. Burn a little bit more. Kill some more of that horizontal movement. Now that our retrograde marker is straight up on the dot on the top of the ball, it means we are falling straight down at Ike. And from here, it appears we will be landing on a fairly flat part of Ike, which is good. And we'll be landing on the light side. Let's see, where's the sun? It's almost straight overhead, so shadow eventually is going to be somewhere around here. It's going to take us a while, though, to get close enough to see it. So let's time accelerate some here. And we're going pretty fast. So let's go ahead and kill that surface velocity. There's our shadow. So now, what we want to do is manage our speed, get it down below about 5 meters per second, right as we touch down on the surface. And we kind of use our shadow to judge how far away we actually are. Pretty close now. Actually see some detail in that shadow. And it looks like we're going to come in for a nice, very gentle landing here at about 1.4 meters per second. All right, we are down on the surface of Ike, ready to get another sample. Yes, finally, Kerbin. Kerbin, you have the honor of getting this next sample. So let's extend our ladders. Oh, before I forget, we want to observe our materials bay. Keep that. We want to log some seismic data, and we will keep that too. Log some temperature data, keep that. And can we log pressure data? No, there's no atmosphere on Ike. Why would we be able to do that? All right, Kerbin, it is time for you to shine. Let's get down on the surface there. Squeeze in between those struts. Mosey on over here, away from our ship a little bit. Now, I gotta remember to take off retrograde along the 270 line because we want to come in from Ike to Duna's orbit. That'll be the best way to do it. But while we're here, let's plant our flag. Ike landing 1. Kerbin is happy. Kerbin likes Ike. Everybody likes Ike. Okay, so we get our sample. Our whole reason for being here. Sample quest. We keep that data. Let's see, we got our... okay, review EVA report, review sample. Okay, we got both of those safely. Time to get back in our ship and then go rendezvous with Duna Truck Stop 1. All right, let's retract these ladders. Okay, so we want to take off along the 270 line. We should be in this direction so that when we... oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. So there's our 90, there's our 270. All right. Ready to go. Should be a nice safe apoapse. And then let's circularize that. There we go. Almost out of fuel with these first asparagus stocks, but that's okay. We can refuel. We're going to take them with us. We're not going to jettison them. We need them to get off of Duna. I hope this will get us off of Duna. It should. Thank you, Kerbal Alarm Clock. I'm going to start this about 10 seconds. Hey, Reckless, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining me. I am currently taking back off from Ike. I got a sample there. And then I'm going to head into Duna to meet up with my Duna truck stop, which has a science lab and some more fuel for me. Then I'm going to land on Duna, get a sample there, hopefully not crash. And then head back to Kerbin. So this series is Sample Quest. That's kind of the point, is to try to get a sample from every planet or moon that's out there. And I've already got one from Minmus, the moon, and Gilly. And now I'm attempting to get one from Duna and Ike. This is career mode. I started a fresh game save just for this. I did a couple missions to get some quick science. Then I went to Minmus, then I went to the moon, then I went to Gilly. So I really haven't gotten a ton of science yet. I've got enough pieces, to build like some basic asparagus type staging and stuff, but I really haven't gotten all that deep into the tech tree yet. So I'm kind of doing these missions under some severe limitations. It's not too bad though at this point. I have pretty much everything I need. I'm also I'm not using any reverts to the VAB or quick saves. I will hit the quick save button occasionally to help recover from time warping related mishaps, but if I make a genuine mistake and I build my rocket wrong, or fly it wrong and something explodes and a Kerbal dies, then it explodes and they die, and I need to relaunch a new mission to try to get whatever sample I was trying to get. Oh man, that sucks. So the moon just like flung you way out into the middle of nowhere, huh? That's the one thing that gets really tricky once you get out to Jewel, is there's so many moons out there that they just can fling you around like a ping pong ball when you try to time accelerate to get some kind of alignment that you're looking for. It could be pretty dangerous. That's what without having quick saves, that's the thing that worries me the most about being able to accomplish in my little sample quest here. Is Jules Moons just, kicking me right in the teeth. Hopefully by the time I get out there, though, I'll be much deeper in the tech tree. Although after Ike and Duna, Jewel is kind of the next logical step. I guess I could try to go back to Minmus and the Moon for more science, but I really just kind of want to go after the samples. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sucks. Sometimes you get a nice surprise and you get an encounter you weren't looking for, and you can do a flyby and get some extra science, and it helps you. And then sometimes you get an encounter that you just really don't want, and it hurts you. Yeah, I know. I can revisit, especially like the Moon and Minmus, because they have lots of. They've got. Okay, my inclination there's pretty good. They've got lots of biomes. There's even biomes that I haven't hit on Kerbin yet. For the piddly little science you get off of those. But this being Sample Quest, the name of the game, I really kind of want to. Have every mission be about getting a sample and bringing it back, and just get the science along the way as a part of that. With the tech level I've got right now, I can get to Lathe and land on Lathe and get back, I'm pretty sure. And after this mission, I'll definitely be able to. I was actually able to get... I did a mission to Duna with level 1 tech, and landed on Duna and got back to Kerbin. And with a modified version of that ship, I've been able to get to Lathe and land on Lathe with maybe enough fuel to get home. I don't know. It probably not, but maybe. But the thing is, on Lathe, with the ship, with Tier 1 tech, you don't have any landing gear, and on Lathe, my ship is always falling over, which is okay. That's kind of what I plan on it doing. But as it's falling over, the rocket engine keeps falling off the back of the craft, and it's basically the same kind of lander that I landed on Duna, and it worked on Duna. I landed on Duna, it falls over, and it holds together. It's kind of tricky to take off. It takes a few tries to take off without exploding. But I was able to touch down. I mean, and I touched down on Lathe a couple times during a couple of the tries at like 0.2 meters per second. And so I couldn't really hit it any more gently than I was. But every single time, no matter what, it is as my ship fell over, that rocket engine just broke off. So I don't know. I might try to revisit that and get to Lathan back on Tier 1 tech, but at this point it seems like it might be just barely out of reach. All right, thanks everybody for watching. This concludes segment 2 of part 2 of Sample Quest. Segment 3 will be up on YouTube shortly. So if you want to find it easy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to watch Sample Quest live as it's happening, go ahead and find me on twitch.tv/BuckeyeMonkey. Thanks again. Take it easy.